Guys, today we're looking at a brand new set of wireless headphones from Edifier. These are the WH950NBs, and they come in at $179, but they're actually meant to be competing with the likes of the Sony WH1000XM5s and the Bose QC45s of the world, albeit at somewhere near half the price. These headphones do have ANC as well as an ambient mode. They are powered by 40mm dynamic drivers. There are 3 microphones on either side. A cool thing is you actually get different levels to your ANC mode. So you've got a low, a high, a wind mode, and of course an amplified ambient mode to bring in sounds from the outside as well. You even have a 3.5mm headphone jack if you prefer the wired audio experience. I think a big feature for these that a lot of people are going to love having is support for the LDAC codec. Basically, this is just a way to triple the bitrate of the music that you are listening to. It really does improve the audio quality a ton. This can be enabled in the application like you probably just saw. And like I said, makes a really big difference. The battery life on this thing is quoted to be 34 hours with ANC on, 55 hours with ANC off, and a 10-minute charging session is going to give you 7 hours of use. Now, my first impression of these headphones was honestly very, very strong. I was immediately taken aback by how soft and smooth and just supple these ear cups actually feel. When you press down on them, they're memory foam, guys. It takes them a while to bounce back. And after wearing them for long periods of time, I'm not getting into that pinching pressure. I'm not getting any of that pressure against my glasses, pushing them against my head. They have remained very, very comfortable. My only complaint is that they seal really well, and you are kind of in the warmer time of the year now, and I was getting a little bit of sweat going on there, but they are very, very comfortable. You even get that kind of plush material up at the top as well. Very, very well-made set of headphones. They look very premium. They feel very premium as well. If we take a minute to kind of go around the device here, we have our volume up, volume down. This button here kind of does play pause. It also is what you hold to power the thing off and on. You have the M button, which I guess is like mode, or maybe it's W for a wombo. And what this thing does is it goes between your different ANC modes. You can also long press it to trigger something like the Google Assistant. You've got your USB-C port there to charge, and there's your headphone jack. You can see a microphone there, and there are supposed to be 2 more microphones on each ear cup that maybe are harder to spot. I do want to also point out that as comfortable as these things are, there is no padding inside the ear cup. And that at first made me slightly nervous because the last earbuds I had that I really liked the comfortability level on did have that padding, but they are deep enough that my ear is not touching the inside. So that hasn't actually been a problem, but if you have larger ears, it could be a problem for you. Let's take a look at the hinge mechanism here. Maybe you can get a good look at that. It does feel fairly robust. I don't have a ton of concern that this thing is going to break over time. It does feel pretty good. Of course, the ear cups can rotate and they can be fully folded up and put back into their carrying case. You can also wear them around your neck with them folded flat if you are one of the people that do that when you're not actually keeping them on your ears. I also want to point out that the carrying case that they came with is a step above some of the other headphones I've reviewed in the past that were a little bit cheaper. The material on the inside, the little divider there to keep them from rubbing up against each other, just a really nice added value. I think if I had to knock the hardware in any way, I think it's because it's missing a sensor to detect when you've taken them off. So if you're listening to music or a podcast, whatever it might be, you take them off, it's going to continue playing. You're going to want to have to hit that button on the side to pause your audio before taking them off. That would have been a nice thing to have. What you're hearing now is the microphone audio coming directly from these Edifier headphones. Obviously, what you've been hearing prior is my Elgato Wave 3 microphone. So if you wanted to know what these things are going to sound like on a phone call, this is pretty much going to be it. So let's take a second now and look at the Edifier app. Once they are paired and turned on, this application can do quite a bit of interesting things. So on the first screen here, you can see where you can toggle between your different ANC or ambient sound modes. Mine are currently set to ambient sound. But if we scroll over, you can now see under sound effects, there are two different preset equalizers. I do really like dynamic, but you can also go into customized. And let me just tell you, there is a ton that you can do with this equalizer. It's almost overwhelming. I do, like I said, prefer just using the dynamic one. I think it sounds very, very good in most cases. But if you want to dial it in, you can. Going on, moreover, there's music mode, game mode, and theater mode. So game mode is obviously going to decrease the latency. So it's good to have that on tap as well. Let's jump into the settings because there's a ton of stuff there. So here you can actually go in and do a little bit to customize that mode button. So by default, a single press goes between high noise cancellation, ambient sound, and noise cancellation off. Well, you can change these things. Maybe you never want ANC to be turned off. Maybe you just want to be going between ambient sound and high noise cancellation, or ambient sound and wind reduction. You can do whatever you want here. You can make this thing however you want it to be, toggle between the modes that you want. Awesome. Let's say you don't ever use theater mode. You just want game and music. Great. You can do that as well. This is where you would turn on LDAC, okay? You go in here, click on this button. You have to repair the device and you're off and running. Now, one downside is you have to decide between LDAC and dual device connection. Now, in my instance, I'd love to have this thing paired to my primary phone and my secondary phone because I switch phones a lot for reviews and things like that. Or perhaps my phone and a laptop, my phone and a computer. Well, I would have to decide between LDAC and this multi-point pairing. There's also a widget which is fairly helpful that will allow you to quickly move between these different modes and settings if you want to go that route. Overall, I think that the app experience on your phone itself is a pretty solid one. There's a decent amount of functionality there and customization to be had. But now we need to talk about the most important thing, which is audio quality, because all that stuff's great, but if they don't sound good, it's totally irrelevant. Fortunately, I have nothing but good news to share with these things. They sound really, really good. The bass is strong without being overwhelming. The mids and the highs are very present, very, very crisp and clear. These are the kind of headphones that as I'm using them and I'm listening to different songs that maybe I haven't listened to in a while, I am hearing instruments and layers in the tracks of the songs. I'm picking up details that I had literally never noticed before. That is a really fun thing and a really impressive thing for any set of audio devices to be able to do. And these guys are absolutely pulling this off. My prior favorite set of wireless headphones were the Surface headphones. I really liked the controls there for the active noise cancellation, and I thought the audio quality was pretty good. These absolutely blow the Surface headphones out of the water when it comes to the sheer audio quality. And when it comes to ANC, they are right there with them. You don't have quite the level of granular control as you have on the Surface headphones, but in terms of the actual quality, blocking out background noise or bringing it in with ambient, these things are right there with them. They sound pretty solid. I don't think that the ANC stuff is going to quite match your Bose, your Sonys of the world, but the audio quality, I think, is going to hang right there with any set of headphones on the market, especially when you're talking about stuff that is in the same price range as this, $180. These are going to absolutely smoke any headphones in this price range, and they're absolutely going to be competing with those $250, $300 headphones on the market. All in all, I'm really pleased with these things. If I was looking for a premium set of headphones, but I didn't want to spend, upwards of $300, I think you could do a whole heck of a lot worse than what is the name of them? Edifier WH950NB. These names are very long and ridiculous and hard to remember, but the headphones themselves are very, very good. Big shout out and thanks to Edifier for sending these headphones over for me to review. As always, they are seeing this review at the exact same time that you are. No editorial input or early copy is given, and no money changed hands for this review. I will drop an affiliate link to Amazon in the description down below. I think you just saw it was on sale when I was filming this. Hopefully it's still on sale for you. Go save even more money. $152 for these is what I think it just said. Good grief. These are incredible for $152. Guys, subscribe for more content just like this. I will see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.